Welcome, if you are out there, everybody. It's the Green Room, listening to Wipeout Audio. We're going to get started here in just a few minutes, but, set yourselves back, get yourself a drink. Got a few moments before everything gets turned on and lit up here in the studio. So we'll see you after this. Some more Wipeout Audio in the Green Room. Okay, people. Just having a little issue with my second PC. Not that you need to know what happens behind the scenes, but it's getting a little hot. Figured out what the problem is, and we are good to go, so don't you worry. Let me get this like that. Oh gosh, where are we? Here we go. Alright, so you know how we do it. We'll, I don't know, man. OBS, full disclosure, OBS just had another update. It's acting weird, and I'm worried it's going to fall apart as soon as we get going. But, you know what? We won't know until the wheels are fully off the bus. So that being said, why don't we get started?
Dog. Cat. Mouse. Turtle.
You're listening to FFOP Radio.
Reach the
Hey everybody, and welcome to the show. My name is Dave. This is FFOP Radio. It's also Flamingo Friday as it happens. Can't really see, but there it is right off screen there. A little bit of house cleaning. Ryan Maxwell back up there. His sticker's behind instead of in front because I didn't want to cover up his name, but it's a turtle with balloons. Thought it was pretty adorable. Right up Ryan's alley. Krista, my co-host and producer, is off camera.
Hi.
So to get everyone, caught up, and maybe if this is your first time here, welcome. But this is the part 2 of the James Rauch interrogation. So we've got through roughly 42 minutes of it. Yeah. I mean, we haven't learned a lot, right? We've got a lot of talking in circles, and I wanted to bring this up too, because the more I thought about this as we go through it, there's something that happens that is maybe it's just inescapable, and that's why it happens to me, because I watch these interrogations, especially long ones, like in the middle of the day to burn some time. Without the context, you just hear these people talk, you can start to get, what's the word? I don't want to say like
Jaded? Not jaded.
No, not jaded, but like you start to believe a little bit of their side of the story. You're whatever it is that, goes, oh, that's a bad person because you're watching an interrogation footage. Part of you goes, well, I mean, we're all human, right? And they sort of act like a human, but then you forget of all the horrible details in the background. But I don't know. Jim is one of those ones where I've seen it so many times where I just go, maybe Jim's life was this or that, but then every once in a while, you got to get yourself a splash of cold water.
Right.
That is like the verification call where he's like immediately trying to get.
Well, there's him who's that. I don't feel that way about him at all. But then there's like Ken Brinkman.
Yeah, Brinkman's. That's what I'm saying. Like, there are interrogations out there, and this is just one of them where I watch them so much, you just start to buy him as a character. Mm-hmm. And when you start to see someone as a character instead of a human, they're like, it's like watching House, right? You don't see Hugh Laurie anymore. You go, oh, it's Dr. House. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Jim Rauch doesn't seem like a human anymore. What's up, Tony? Jim just sort of seems like this goofy cartoon character that lives on TV or in my computer now.
He's just always there.
You know, if he's dead or whatever, or possible.
Yeah.
But, you know, back in the day, it was just like, I knew he existed, but like, because that's the thing, these people have to keep existing after they fall out of the limelight and deal with the trials and tribulations. Like, look at Dusty McFetrich's long tortured road that, like, he just straight up won't learn and won't cooperate, so he's still dealing with the shit that he got snagged for in, like, 2005.
Right.
He's just like, it wasn't my fault. It was Chris Hansen. Like, to this day, like, even if, like, you still believe in your heart of hearts, you're Dustin McFetrich, and you go, like, I am innocent. Sure. Like, at 20 years after the fact, like, just pretend, lie, just to get out of the program.
Right.
Like, holy shit, dude.
I didn't realize you can get out of the program.
Well, I mean, just, like, in a way that, like, because he wants to get a computer and he wants to get a job and he wants to get this and that, but he's made no progress and does not give a single shit, and that's why he's stuck where he is. God knows where his mama is.
Thomas says Chris Hansen always causing problems for decent red-blooded Americans.
Right. You know, you just get a guy who wants to get someone shaved down there and you throw him into the system for 20 years of his pathetic, miserable trailer park living life. But yeah, whatever. So we're picking up with Jim.
They just started talking about the chat log, I feel like.
Just barely. Like, Tom is now sort of slowly getting into the, like, you were going over there for this, that, for help, or like, because he's going to talk about the divorce between Cheyenne's parents. And so, yeah, it's going to be a bunch of bullshit. And like, you can probably see this is a long stretch of road ahead of us. A lot of this he's like asleep for, like,
hilarious.
We're going to skip past the part where he's asleep. And like, because seriously, like, he'll just be snoring away.
He's got to sleep off that alcohol.
Then they make him sign a thing later. But let's go ahead and get this party started.
You know, and things could have, you know, but you would. I don't think if anything would have happened.
I'm talking anything.
You would have never heard her. Jim, I know that.
No, I wouldn't.
Here's the thing. Like, having not a low voice myself, I can kind of identify with this problem. But as someone who has a high voice, I don't want to hear cops with high voices. Like, Jeff Sokol's interrogator, Detective Kelly, awesome. I love his voice. He's got that super low baritone. He's like, you're kind of pissing me off. This guy's like, hey, man, come on. Like, and it's the same thing with Julio Soto. Like, it was the lady who was constantly tapping the wall and all these people out here, right? But then, like, it was like Detective 12-year-old, that African-American kid who was like, you know, why are they lying on you? He's got like such a little boy voice, and it's just not, I don't know. If I were sitting there getting grilled by Tom or anybody with one of those falsetto voices, I'd be like,
is this
really?
real?
Like, you would have somebody with like a little, like a baritone? Come on, man.
That's not me. That's not you. But you were there for her. You were trying to be there for her.
He just said 4 times in a
came here
row.
for that reason. To be there for her tonight.
And let's be realistic about.
It must be once you get past a certain age, like, you want to interrupt someone, but your like brain and body don't like meld as smoothly as they did in your youth. So it's just like this old like Model A crank to start engine where it's just like and like it'll just keep going until the other person finally subsides. Like, Tom's finally like, okay, god damn it, just get the engine started, Jim.
About that too.
And possibly
I
sexually
came here to be for her,
too.
Possibly
sexually too.
Yeah, possibly.
And I don't know
Thomas
if I could
says,
ever have done
I don't know if I would have done that. It's gross. It's gross.
you know what? You may think an annoying voice isn't indicative of getting a job done, but Joe Pesci got those 2 youts off murder charges back in the day with the most obnoxiously nasal voice ever.
Right, but here's the thing. I'm not talking about obnoxiously nasal. I'm talking about, that's the thing. And it's not high, maybe necessarily. it just sounds immature. Like Tom and the detective that works alongside What's Her Nuts with Julio Soto. And there's a few of them out there. Is whatever. Like it doesn't sound like it's nasally. It doesn't sound like it's anything other than like the balls never drop. Like when Tom is like, you think he'd ever like that's what he probably sounded like at 12. Mm-hmm. That's the thing. I'm not like annoying voices I can deal with, like gravelly or scratchy or high or whatever. I can dig on those because they all fill a role. The ones that just don't feel like they're playing a role, they just haven't come into their own yet. Especially like I don't know how old that other detective was. He old enough to be a detective at least, so he had to rise up through some ranks. He still had the face of a 13-year-old kid. Like he had one of those like junior high mustaches, and he was an adult.
I don't think I could ever. I mean,
Spoiler alert: Tom's mustache is pretty fucking wispy too.
I'm serious. You
guys have anyone with a badge back there? Grapes have dropped.
I have gone there twice.
Dream out.
Walked away because no, that's not what I want. I want to go to some place and meet somebody.
I only asked if they wanted to fuck around just because it's the internet.
What I am, not my dick.
My dick.
You know?
Who wants you?
Who wants you for you? What's you for you, Jim? Tom Leykis.
For you. What's Jim?
What's Jim?
Yeah, and I'll do a hell of a lot for that.
What does that mean? I do a hell of a lot for that. Keep in mind, he's like 3 vodka tonics deep.
We can go into personal details on that, but there are people.
I love this part.
There are people in my.
That always kills me. I don't know why there's a massive feedback loop, but when he just like stops and looks, I don't know why he just kills
my
me
life.
every time.
Who would do anything for me to just give up everything I have and just go with them.
This jacket, gone.
But I won't do it.
I'd give up the jacket, the red shirt.
God.
And there are other people on the inside who need every bit of me. And I can't give them that because I've got this
I'm
other
sure there
person
are people
who
that
really
need every
needs
bit
me,
of you,
doesn't-
Jim.
You need, try reaching. I don't know if I can go up to Yahoo or Goggle, Ryan, but maybe next time Goggle the time.
Say the thing.
And tonight.
Oh God.
Sounds like there's a lot of relationships.
I'm so glad. Like this is the one interview where Catherine Reed comes off as like ultra competent or not ultra, but competent. Because Tom will get into these and tonight, feelings were feelings, and tonight, and feelings are feelings loops until finally Catherine Reed is like, so tell me about chat rooms or some shit. I go, thank God. Because like, what?
That's a sick jacket, though. Yeah.
I know everybody. That's the thing. Everybody loves the jacket.
Relationship issues.
I should have worn my leather
going
jacket.
for you right now.
It's hot.
Oh,
now.
absolutely. I have no question about it. I can be specific about it. You want specifics, or you want to talk about legalities?
You want to talk about my dick or what?
When you're like being interrogated for coming to essay a child, essentially, you want to talk specifics. Or you want to talk legalities. I'll tell you specifics.
I have a girlfriend
Yeah, bring in Dudinsky.
who won't get.
But I feel like that's the thing. I feel like, well, yeah, there must be something because Tom is a deputy, and I believe Catherine and John are from the KBI. And I feel like Catherine and John don't like to work with each other because they give each other fucking stone cold receptions when you see them interact with each other. If you've seen all this specific vintages to Catch a Predators. But I feel like Tom is just a fucking numbnuts who just signed up for the overtime, doesn't know how to interrogate, and that's why Catherine's here. But the fact that she gives him such a long leash to run around this yard just feels like, come on.
Married who doesn't want to see me except for on the weekends when she wants to get fucked.
When she wants to get fucked. When she wants
I
some
have
JD.
Another woman who would love for me to just move in with her. I can't move in with her because she's not going anywhere. She's not.
Jim's like 65, 66. He'll say it later. He's in his mid to late 60s.
Mm-hmm.
Where
does
are
he
you
wanna go?
going, Jim? Like, AARP is knocking at your door, and Medicare Part B has got the card in the mail, and you're like, oh, she doesn't know what she's doing with her life. You guys aren't fucking 22. Jesus Christ. Tom. Yeah. Sorry, Tom.
So what I
Oh,
did,
Tom.
juggle phone calls with those two.
Tom like
Then we
it.
add in the other emotions, and, Okay, so I can't.
So that's the thing. Like, maybe in front of police, Jim here is Thomas Maloney. Or Thomas A. Mahaly. Thomas O'Malley.
Thomas O'Malley, the alley cat.
Thomas O'Malley, the alley cat. But on the internet, he's Tom Likas. He doesn't spend over
Gross.
$20 to pound puss.
I can't satisfy anyone.
That's part of 101.
I can see.
And I don't think it's come up in inflation. That's the thing. I haven't listened to Tom Likas in probably 20 years, but I can't imagine that the $20 cap on a date is. We'll talk about Tom Likas because his methods for banging skags are diabolical. I mean, even if you can't see it as it is a fine art, and we'll talk about it some other time. Tom
You're
Likas.
gone on this. You have no clue what I'm talking about. But this is all going on.
But these are your feelings.
Yeah.
These are your feelings.
Well, no, they're beyond my feelings.
Why did
They're-
you say
they're
that,
people
Tom?
who affect
These are
my
your feelings.
And they're people who I can get down on my knees and say, stop this shit.
And then,
What are
What
we
is
even
that?
talking about?
What is that? Yeah, exactly. What does that mean? This is a drunken tirade from a fucking idiot. And so it's like, I can get on my knees and say, stop this shit. What, in context of what? I am a huge proponent of two things, content and context. And we have Jim, a contextless content machine.
Yeah.
It's like if you open up a fortune cookie and you started pulling it out and the ticker tape never ended. It's everything fucking Jim is saying. It's out of nowhere.
Thomas says, my nickname gets longer every episode, like Chris Chan's Goddess, Spirit, Heart, Neptunia, Diamond, Jesus Christ, All-Star, Christian, Weston, Chandler.
Should I call you Tomachu? We'll just shorten it to that. Chris Chan Tomachu.
What form of interview is this?
and then
And they so eventually I'll die and everybody else will go on.
Yep.
and tonight.
Pretty much for all of us. Oh, God.
This is, I,
Here comes the fucking
I
tonight,
don't
Luke.
care. I don't want to be involved in a whole bunch of legal shit. I've been there before.
I've been there before.
Lord,
Yeah.
no, please,
Yeah,
I
know what's-
apologize.
I know this shit's like. And
What do you want to be there for tonight?
I wanted to help somebody out.
Maybe
I
sexually.
wanted somebody. Her mother was not.
It's fine.
You can keep that one.
Mahonanoni.
Her father was not
Mahonanoni.
around, and she didn't know what to do.
And she had
Feelings.
emotional feelings,
Ah!
sexual feelings.
Spiritual feelings.
She had a multitude of feelings.
Oh my God. And I want, oh, fuck, God damn it. There are so many things I want. Like, I would give, not a huge, like, I wouldn't pay a huge price for this. I would give one of my toes, possibly, to rewrite history and have not only the camera on him, but a camera on Catherine and Tom. I want to see what's going across their faces. I want to see if Catherine is like looking toward Tom and like, what the fuck? Or if she's so checked out that like the only time she actually does speak up, I might be giving her too much credit. She might just be like wearing one of those, a pair of glasses that has the eyes on them. And she just comes to every once in a while to ask a question.
Thomas thinks he looks like Jeffrey Jones from the dad from Beetlejuice.
You're right. He was also in The Devil's Advocate. But yeah, you're right. Thomas Jones, a little bit.
Jeffrey Jones.
Jeffrey Jones. Yeah, sorry, Thomas. I've said Thomas so much tonight. Jesus Christ. Yeah, Jeffrey Jones. He does look a little bit like that, but I think it's
Ferris Bueller.
yeah. He yells grace. I think anybody who does that mustache in conjunction with like that male pattern baldness that isn't the full cul-de-sac, you're gonna get 9 times out of 10.
And I could answer some of those by my.
But he doesn't look like Jeffrey Jones in Sleepy Hollow. But get him a wig.
dialogue, obviously.
Yeah.
And
Satan Al Pacino.
Catherine.
You know, but right now, we're talking about it, and that's the main point.
Real quick, here's a crossover between a couple of things that you might find interesting, Krista. And you may have even remember this, but in The Devil's Advocate, Keanu Reeves playing the devil, Charlize Theron, his girlfriend / wife or whatever. When they moved to Florida to that law firm, she meets Tamara Tooney, aka the Emmy from SVU.
Huh.
Prolonged topless scene.
Oh.
She makes her touch her boobs and everything. I don't
remember that.
I watched a million episodes of SVU and then stumbled upon Devil's Advocate one day, and then bam, there's Detective Warner blasting her boobs all over the place. I'm like, whoa, I'm too young for this.
Boobs.
I mean, you could come in there and say that,
I really enjoyed The Devil's Advocate. I
mean, you enjoy boobs, so.
I do enjoy boobs, but that's the thing. It's not only that. I think it was a good movie regardless of that. I'd
have to see it again.
I don't think Keanu Reeves was great, but I think Al Pacino is great at it. I think Jeffrey Jones, when he gets killed, is pretty cool. It's a good movie. Whatever.
I still feel
Jizz time.
I'm not trying to sabotage.
But yeah, lots of boobs in that movie too. Like, that's the thing. I don't think we're ever we don't need to digress anymore, but I don't think we're ever gonna see movies like that anymore that are like hyper sexualized. I mean, not for a while.
Maybe not like movie theater movies, but like
look, but don't touch
all that shit on Netflix.
Right,
and all
but
that
I'm saying like that's the thing that's moved out of the common parlance because like whatever. We're talking about Jim.
But I feel sad
Jizz time.
because of the fact that I'm not out there fucking the 13-year-olds.
I'm trying, but
yeah, I mean,
drunk and
you guys cock blocked me.
As we always know from the news today.
From the news.
I'm not doing that, and I don't have a desire to do that.
Then why'd you ask her if she wanted to fuck around?
If you need evidence, if you don't believe me, check out Baked Salmon's channel. He did a reading of the chat log. I mean, it leaves a little of the imagination.
Yeah.
But you felt a connection.
For the boob talk.
And tonight
Talking about boobs.
We talked about it in Discord last night too.
And I needed her in some sense. And I needed to be able to
let yourself go.
No.
Just let it all out, Jim.
I needed.
To help her.
There's a needy thing.
To help her.
I needed to fulfill a need of somebody.
I needed to fulfill a need of somebody. Isn't that like a fucking snake eating its tail?
Yeah.
I was in need of someone needing me so I could fulfill their need that would fulfill the need that I needed. Shut up, Jim. You and fucking Tom can go pound sand with your fucking feelings.
And I've always done it all my life. We go back to history with
what's too much?
My school.
Right.
And it's always that, trying to find some way to help some kids. And I really felt that need. It's not bullshit. It's just.
I'm just trying to help
Some
kids.
way to help
Bullshit.
some kids.
P.S. I'm not allowed at the Boys and Girls Club anymore.
Yeah.
The way you feel.
Don't ask around.
I don't think that's bullshit.
Well, I know, but on the outside of it, people look at it.
What does that mean?
They don't see.
But you have feelings. I mean, you'd be inhuman if you didn't have feelings.
You'd be inhuman if you didn't
tonight
have
was about
feelings,
feelings.
Jam.
Tonight,
It was.
tonight was about feelings, and tonight was about you trying to help someone.
Multitude of feelings.
You thought you needed.
Help them is the key word there.
And you wanted to share.
I wanted to
With
be.
them.
I wanted to be able.
To
This
share
is
my dick.
nothing but a fuck ton of adverbs and like we've learned nothing. Like we're all sharing and learning and feeling and emoting and growing but like what if I'm on the jury, like hello, you and me and everybody else is on the jury right now. What are we taking away from this? It's a night of feeling and learning and growing and touching and
wanted to fill a need of somebody else.
like what are we doing here?
As a great comedian Ron White said, once you've seen one woman naked, you want to see the rest of them naked too.
Mm-hmm.
You like rambling for minutes at a time? Stiving?
Stuyven, you like that, Stuyven? You like going on rambling tangents, Stuyven? The hair was there.
Able after the discussion of the we talked about if it's sexual or whatever.
Or whatever.
Landon. Hey, Landon.
What up?
Welcome back.
Share.
Talking sideways, listening to him made me think I was having a stroke.
What do you need? Where do we go from there? What how does my role change with you? Enough labor. Dude.
Haven't we all, like, here's the thing. Have we not all been in the spot where Jim is right now? Not literally, but like drunk beyond the capacity that you are able to recognize, but still desperate to communicate something to someone. However, that thing is a mystery to you.
Yes.
It's like, I've been in that situation, not a lot, but enough times that I have a few memories of it, or like even now with the benefit of hindsight, and if it ever happens again, I'll probably think the same thing. Like in the middle of it, and your mouth is going and you're looking at the person, you're thinking, why am I fucking doing this? I want to be laying down or whatever.
I want to be asleep.
It's just, God, it feels like Jim just wants to lay down, but he also like is desperate for attention. So he's just going to spout off eternally. But when whatever point or distant beam of light that he was shooting for, he falls drastically short of, the conversation just peters out. And he just goes like, I mean, haven't we all done that like drunk sigh? Like we just lose yourself in a conversation, you just go, you just got like reset.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. And it just feels like, have Tom and Catherine never been drunk? Like they just can't see that Jim's of no value here?
Do what you have to do.
They need to be equally drunk to understand.
Seriously.
Jim, you've said several times that, you feel sabotaged. We're not here to make life harder for you. I mean, you're in the situation that you're in, and
what's the point of
right
this,
now we have an
Catherine?
opportunity to talk through things and maybe
Which isn't
get
gonna
you
make
in a
any
better
difference.
situation so that you don't.
Here's the thing. I've been watching a lot of interrogation footage over the past week to sort of build up a catalog for stuff I can show you guys. And the one thing that police are most generous with is opportunity. Holy fuck. Like, I don't think I've ever seen an interrogation where the word opportunity wasn't used less than a few dozen times.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because, goddamn, like the word opportunity feels so uplifting. Because they go, well, now's your opportunity. And you go, really? And then, cut to 2.5 hours later, and they go, technology, and you're in life.
Yeah, you're going to jail for life.
Like,
bye.
holy fuck.
You don't feel
Hey,
sabotaged.
it's a lady.
It's a lady.
Okay, in that relationship, in that perspective, how do I deal?
Another thing that Jim's doing here that almost everyone who talked with interrogators from TCAP does, they immediately start thinking like bald beaver hunters. I can tell you're a therapist. Like Jim went from being like picked up for meeting a kid to like, I mean, this is something he would be charged, or his HMO would be charged probably $270
Right.
for. This is 159 minutes of professional interaction. And, of course, it's practically free because he was arrested, but he's turning it into a full-blown therapeutic experience. It's crazy.
Hour and 59 minutes.
Sorry, yeah, hour and 59. Well, 2 hours, whatever. Yeah, he does. He looks a little bit like a Target manager, Ryan.
Yeah.
Like you would see him come out of the back office with that leather jacket. He means business. Like he's ahead in loss prevention.
I'm going to be online.
Assistant manager at Target.
Chop up an arm, take my job away.
They did not chop off his arms. However, they did take his job away.
Mm.
And
sick.
deal with that when I see somebody who does have a need.
How do I fuck them?
I don't mean searching out. I'm not talking. I'm somebody. I have. That's a whole other thing.
You know,
A whole other
blows,
thing.
you know what blows my mind? We had not even gotten to the part where he talks about pointing his webcam at his genitalia
Yep.
for an extended period of time. I
Yep.
cannot believe we aren't even there yet.
Never.
This is like driving to California, and we aren't even at El Cabazon dinosaurs. We're not even to the windmills.
We barely ate at Carl's Jr. in Quartzsite.
Yeah, this is barely Quartzsite.
Who hasn't responded to me? However that plays a perspective and how you deal with the job that you do. For me,
So here's a fresh take, detectives. Have you ever thought about blaming the victim? Like, sure, maybe I said, hello, can I fuck you? But did they respond?
Yeah, they shouldn't have been there in the first place.
Yeah,
do I need
talk
to
to
answer
Goggle.
them, or do I shut it off? And that
Do I need to answer them or do I shut it off? 13, ASL. Do I need to answer them?
They want to fuck around. If you're in California, you need to go to In-N-Out before you go to Carl's Jr.
We've got In-N-Outs here. Big fat fucking whoop. I'll eat Carl's Jr. 10 times out of 10. And In-N-Out, maybe if I give a
I've
fuck.
only
and
had
no
In-N-Out once, and I was not a real big fan of their burger.
Here's the thing. Whatever. I was born on the wrong coast. I love White Castle. I hate In-N-Out.
that is really hard for me.
Yeah.
That is really hard. When somebody said hi after I said hi to them.
When
I mean,
someone
just
says-
that simple. Just that simple.
Yeah, they said hi, guys. Hello.
If I don't respond to them, it says, "Oh, well, he doesn't care."
It's a
like the
chat room.
37,000 other people that don't care.
Yeah.
You know?
Right?
And I have a real problem with that because if somebody
Northern Canada. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I've been to Canada. Not the super north. I was in
Vancouver.
Pretty nice. And the island off of whatever.
Victoria? No.
Yeah,
Victoria?
yeah. Whatever. I've been to Canada. It's nice. They've got, basically everything we do, but they have Tim Hortons instead of Starbucks.
I went to Canada once. I have no idea where I was, though. It was on the
Oh
east
my
side.
God. You got the Western burger? Holy fuck. The Western double cheeseburger, I don't get it with the cheese on there because their cheese is like melted polyurethane. It's disgusting. Yeah, Vancouver Island. Yes, thank you. I go no cheese, heavy on that barbecue sauce. Carl's Jr. has the best barbecue sauce in the fucking business. If you disagree, you are wrong. This isn't an opinion. It's like math.
somebody responds to me, I always respond to them. Okay, I'm sorry.
I said enough. We
This
got an
is
hour
like
left.
If my count is correct, and it might not be, this is either the 5th or the 6th time where he tries to end the interview.
I'm sure.
And the only way you can 100% end the interview is if you say the L word. If you
Yeah.
say I'm done, they will pester you. If you say I'm through, they will pester you.
they'll just
if
awkwardly
you say
sit there.
I'm not going to answer any more questions, they'll bring you Chinese food and they'll ask you more questions.
What do we do?
You hungry? You want some Subway? We're best
Long
friends.
talk.
Talk more about the information that you exchanged with Cheyenne as far as pictures.
Shy.
Chat.
I did have my
Here we go, here we go.
webcam and my
Chinese
webcam
food,
has
just kidding.
Been both visual.
Here we go.
Obviously seeing me, facially, genitalia.
Genitalia. How
No.
many times would you say?
I
An
would
hour.
say maybe 1 or 2 times that she has accepted to see me.
Yeah, hello. Like, she was asking for it. I said, do you want to see this old Johnson? And she clicked yes. So, culpability? Party of 2, please.
That was on Yahoo.
It was on Yahoo, and it was her. I never.
I would love it if a
forced
cop
on
called
her.
me in for an interview because I know I can get 2 meals out of them.
Oh, hell yeah. Like, that's the thing. If it's a fine line you'd have to walk, right? Because it's illegal to lie to the police. But, like, bullshitting them for a few free meals probably wouldn't be out of the.
No.
You know, to what's her name? There was a. Shit. I think her name was Chelsea. It was the case where she goes to that big Halloween party dressed as Poison Ivy and gets abducted and essayed and killed. And this guy who had no connection whatsoever, like, comes out of nowhere and said that, like, they interacted, like, she bled on his shirt a little bit, and it was all bullshit. And, like, he went through 3 interviews, and finally he's like, no, I never did. And, like, fuck yeah. And, like, yeah, they charged his ass. Like, what do you stand to gain of inserting yourself in something you have no business? Like, I get when you're the perpetrator, right? And you've got to lie to the detectives because you're trying to get out of something.
Yeah.
That's different than walking in and inserting yourself and being like, yeah, I saw her and she was in that costume that it's the key piece of evidence, and she bled on my shirt, but my mom's doing laundry right now. Like, what are we doing here, dickweed?
A big waste of time.
Like, those are the people that should be thrown into a giant meat grinder like on The Simpsons. Like, did you have nothing to do? Did you have a job, my dude? What the fuck? Like, did you think that, like, the police are going to be like, hey, buddy, thanks for that. Case solved. Here's a Big Mac coupon. Fucker.
He also looks like Richard Dreyfuss, except he's starring in Mr. Holland's old penis.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
But it's not always been genitalia, but
Not always genitalia, but sometimes.
Face, genitalia. So there's
Multitude.
Yeah.
You had emotional genitalia. You had spiritual genitalia.
But that's only, and again,
Thomas says, Can I get 2 Dave's doubles with that 10-piece, Ray? I don't know, Tom. That's a lot. Because I'm feeling those square patties might loosen the tongue off all this alleged murder. 2 it is.
That's what I'm saying. Like I said, hey, if I got, fucking double Western out there with no cheese, maybe a third patty sneaks out of that
pickles?
shit. They don't have pickles on there, but that's the thing.
It'd probably be good with pickles, though.
I always had pickles put on it. Because you can say, put pickles on it. Here's the thing. Put pineapple on your pizza, get a bacon double Western cheeseburger, and put pickles on it. The vinegar helps. The barbecue sauce already has a little bit of vinegar in it. It's going to naturally. Just do it.
only because of the fact that that's the way
I don't think I would falsely confess for anything less than like 4.5 feet of Subway sandwich, though.
I was at that point.
Just the party sub, 6
Not
foot.
that I was. No. Okay.
Drowning in oil and vinegar.
Yeah, Italian
So let's put it
combo.
on my dick.
Cold cut combo.
Cold cut combo.
No,
I like
it was
Italian.
more than that. It was
Italian BMT.
there.
I didn't even eat there, and I know the menu.
That's
Webcams
sad.
available. She accepted it or not accepted it. In most cases, and she didn't always accept it either.
I offered a
Or
lot.
was this in response to the conversation you were
No,
having?
no, there was
or
no. There was usually no conversation in relationship to that.
So let me ask you this, guys, really quick in the chat. Type of number 1 if, keep it 100, y'all. No, just kidding. Does that seem worse? Like, because he's playing it off like, no. Not every time I offered my penis were we talking about sex, right? That seems worse, right?
Yeah, I just turned my camera on to show her my dick, and that was it.
Like if I'm talking to my wife about sex and I whip it out and she goes, oh, I get it. Context and content. There it is. Both in situ. But if I'm like talking about what I've got to pick up as we run errands later and I just start waggling it in the living room, at the very least, there's going to be confusion. Because, like, if I'm talking to Cheyenne about how was your school today, and we're talking about, the baking soda vinegar volcano she's making for her science class, and a little window pops up that says accept the cam invite, and there's a, God knows, Jim probably has a dick that's 2.5 inches, but a pair of balls that'll hold like maybe 2.5, 3 gallons. And you're just like, oh, how's school today? Oh, working on the volcano. And then bam, balls.
He thought it was a WebMD video call.
Yeah, I always go like, hey, Dr. 13-year-old.
I wouldn't falsely confess for anything less than 4 feet of Subway sandwich. Line of the night. I don't know. I think the waggling is dick.
Wait. I'm going to take it back. I would not falsely confess for anything less than 4.5 feet of either Porta Subs, Jimmy John's. No, not Jimmy John's. No. Jersey Mike's. Porta Subs, Jersey Mike's, Blimpie in a pinch. That's it.
About Quiznos.
No.
My dad's in his 70s and can't confirm.
Yeah. I used to, not for nothing, I used to work in a assisted living facility where it was 70 plus, and everybody who had balls had them in excess. You know what I mean? Every day I look down and I go, oh my God, when does it happen? Not yet.
When you sent that,
But that's again. But in relationship to other people other than Cheyenne, man, that was common practice for me.
Common practice to offer your genital camera.
Camera?
Quiznos isn't real. I would argue that, but I cannot have any evidence, or rather, I do not have any evidence to disprove it.
It's like eating there.
What? No, I know, but like that's the thing. Like there are 2 or 3 Kmarts in America. No confirmation. I just like to think that that's real.
Mm-hmm.
What did you hope when?
If somebody wanted to look at it, they could look at it.
They could
Decline, look at it, stop, go on, do their own.
So,
That was my.
Quiznos is real.
That was my.
Next year in Quiznos is real.
That was what I expected them to do. If they didn't want to see it, they didn't.
Pre-internet, this feels like an analog would be this, right? Like where Jim is setting up a scenario where like he can just go to a place, offer his genitals to people, and they can take or leave it.
But do they know what they're going to see before they accept
doesn't matter.
it?
Let me get through this or I'm going to lose my train of thought, please. It would be like you walk into like a Seinfeld cafe, right? And like there's just like a 60-foot window that has one of those tables where you face out the window. Mm-hmm. And you get to step up, drop your drawers, and there's just like a curtain that somebody can operate from the outside. And they can walk up, pull the curtain, take a look at your peen or veg or whatever you got under there. But like when you let it go, there's a spring so that people can't, like kids can't walk by.
Right.
And there's obviously kids are going to run up and look at this. So it's a bad idea regardless. But that's the kind of situation that Jim is espousing, like that you could just find a place, offer your genitals behind the weakest of barriers, and then like it's on whoever pulls the cord.
Right.
Be like, well, how could I commit the crime if you looked at my dick?
Yeah, you
Like,
accepted it.
How am I the murderer if you got hit with the bullet? Like what? That's the dumbest fucking thing.
If they did see it, and
Quiznos is real.
Click on.
I love it.
So you sent it as something as if she wanted to view it, she
like
could view
Argo.
it. If she didn't want to view it.
Exactly. And
You think we could do like an Argo style movie where instead of sneaking into a country where terrorists have hostages to shoot a movie, we could set up a Blimpie franchise and sneak him out, like hire the Americans and sneak him out via like a 401k or whatever. That'd be funny.
His defense is, I just showed it. If they want to look, they can. Or
Right.
not.
That's why I'm saying, like, if he could even have like a portable thing where like anybody could, like, he could just affix the curtain to his wrinkly old waist and people would go, what the?
Any other people that I had any contact with. I mean, when you go through hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and you get a response.
Just like, come on, everybody, look at this thing. Let's move along.
Webcam is available. That's it. And then
Do you think, I mean, in an infinite expanse of possibilities, this has to exist. But like here in Arizona, in the middle of nowhere, when you're driving up north, they'll say, it's the thing, like stop at the roadside attraction, like the thing, like a Route 66 style bullshit tourist attraction. Like, do you think in some universe, it's not like a jackalope or a Fiji mermaid, but it's like Jim Rauch, like sitting in a Barca lounger with like a little box and the curtain over his dick. And like people come in to pay their quarter and they pull the velour rope and it swings open and there's his limp pickle. And
Giant balls.
And his huge hairy balls, and like maybe some like fluorescent lights popping over the top, and like you can hear like the buzz of the ballast, and it's like when you pull the curtain, it goes, and it's dark for a second, and the ballast starts to key, and it goes tick 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 tick, and it's got that like weird hum, and you're sitting there staring at Jim's dork, and the line grows behind you, and you just let go in the spring, and you move on.
and then you get that choice.
Quiznos is real too. Double meat special.
When you said that there were webcam shots of your genitalia,
You said that right.
what was going on? Was there masturbation involved?
Not always.
Not in all cases, no. Just there.
Just,
There was masturbation in places of people who did have a connection with me.
So, detective, it's like how every rectangle is a square, but not every square is a rectangle. You get that, right? I mean, come on. It's the law of angles.
Okay. In other words, people who stayed with me and been short
Stayed
term.
with me.
Yeah.
This is like
What about
OnlyFans
with
before
Cheyenne?
OnlyFans was a thing.
It's free.
I don't think so.
This is Chatterbait.
It's free real
I don't
estate.
think so.
Chatterbait's free?
Yeah.
And that.
You think King Cobra is throwing money at places to beat it? No.
That may be just a.
I've never
I don't
been on
know, but
Chatterbait, so I don't know.
think so.
Well, I mean, technically everything is free. You can pay with coins or whatever, like whatever free-based economy. Like, yeah.
No, I don't think so. I think it was more like,
Pay to play.
here's a guy's thing,
Here's a girl.
Here's a girl.
That was
thing.
more of it.
more of an education for her.
Sure, here's my
I think so.
anatomy.
I think
Yeah,
so.
yeah, that works.
Now that you said that, I really do think so.
Nailing
like he latched on to the education thing faster than Chris Watts on the Shanann killed the girls thing.
She was, at least whoever she is.
He's probably a dude.
It was more of a
Exploratory.
This is what a guy looks like.
Yeah.
Oh,
'Cause
your
where could she
boyfriend
find a
was like,
penis
you
on the
touched
internet?
that, your boyfriend. Oh yeah, I touched him once. That kind
Yeah, you're real laissez-faire. Like, yeah, take a look at this peen. Oh, that's cool. You ever see your boyfriend's peen? Yeah, I touched him once. You know, just, oh, good night.
of. Nothing more than that.
Nothing
for
more.
her.
For
That I
nothing
remember.
more.
And you said you only doing that like 1 or 2 times?
40,
You
50 times.
sent something out, or?
Probably 1 or 2 times. No more than that.
And then tonight, you said you were going to be for her in
Feelings.
various issues.
Multitude.
Because her son with her parents, and
She said her mother was working at the hospital and that she was free and I connected and
you
I gave her my phone number,
gave her your phone number.
which was a big step for me.
Yeah. Well,
I don't just give people my phone
Well,
number. I
yeah.
show them my dick, though.
Yeah, I'm jaded. Jim Rauch is a jaded motherfucker. So the fact I handed my phone number out to anybody, let alone a 13-year-old, means I'm making some spiritual progress. You know, Big JR, he's working on him. That's a big step. 13-year-old, take these digits. Whew. Congratulations, Jim. Blow out the candle on your cupcake, you fucking weirdo.
Well, big step for me because number one, I never had I didn't even know where she lived, and
Usually I have to know your address before I'll hand you my phone number.
and then we followed through with that that fiasco. Been driving all over.
Trying to get to Pompilio.
how'd you find her? How'd you find her place there?
Didn't.
Luckily.
Nope.
Did you get like a MapQuest or?
I had originally had a map, but when
My Rand McNally flew out the window.
I spent an hour looking. Her directions were terrible.
Her directions are fine. She was an adult. You were fucking 8 fingers deep
Right.
in vodka
3 sheets to the
tonics.
wind.
Or whoever it is, their directions.
They were terrible.
Yeah, they were.
So did you have to call her back, or?
She called me, but then obviously that was.
And that's where you kind of asked where is this?
Well, where
at?
am I going? What am I doing?
Was it a cell phone? Or?
Are they even asking him questions?
Oh,
Not
I
really.
had a cell phone.
No, that's the thing. It's like, how many, like, I should have kept a tally and we could play a game at the end, but like, how many times does Tom Nishke say, and tonight was, and then he gets to shut the fuck up because Jim goes, yeah, I play keyboards, and like, I got a fat fuck buddy, and like, I'm looking for someone who wants me, not my dick, and like, yeah, there's genitals involved and not always masturbation, and
I can move in with somebody right now, but they're not going anywhere.
Tom gets to run through his fucking phonics flashcards of night, emotions, feelings, and multitude. And every once in a while, Catherine Reed goes, "Tell me about Cheyenne," and then we get to fucking going off into nowhere again.
I have cell phone.
So she was calling you on your cell phone?
Or whoever.
What's a cell phone?
Yeah.
Or whoever it was.
Or whoever it was.
Have you ever called her on your cell phone or anything like that?
No, never.
Never. Not doing
Never would do that.
And tonight, I know a lot of things.
Tonight. The
You wanted
feelings.
to express certain things. You wanted to I'm trying to express your feelings, Jim.
Okay,
I'm trying.
Tom is so stupid. He can't even formulate a question. Because keep in mind, he's not asking a question. He's saying you were trying to. Tonight you were trying to. I've never started a question with tonight you were trying to. This is what you get when it's like, hey, NBC's rolling into town. Who wants to do some primetime hours at the cop shop? And they throw their names into a hat. And Tom, who's usually behind a desk and covered in powdered sugar from the donuts, goes, woohoo! And he gets to ask Jim nothing. And he gets to say that he was trying to have emotions and feelings and then sort of putter off and do nothing.
Mm-hmm. I'm so bothered by how casual he is. Yeah, Jim don't care.
Right. Well, because, again, he's drunk.
Right.
And he thinks that he's going to walk right out the door because he thinks, here's the thing.
He doesn't want any legal bullshit.
People don't realize crimes have been committed. But ignorance of the law is not an excuse. You know what I
I'm
mean?
trying to express your feelings, and because I want to get it right. I don't want to say something that's not right.
Okay.
Okay.
You haven't said anything that has been right or wrong.
Yeah, I haven't really said much.
It's like when you say this statement is a lie. That's everything Thomas said is exactly that.
Tonight, you wanted to see how she was emotionally, sexually.
Again, I've said this before. I'm going to fucking triple, quadruple, or whatever it is now down. Don't start a list unless you have at least 3. At least. If you go beyond that, good for you. Extra credit, numbnuts. But don't hit it without a 3rd one to punctuate it.
Yeah.
Don't say, hey, you were here for emotionally, you're for sexually. Because that 3 seconds of silence before you move on to whatever your next idea is, because
that wasn't anything.
right, the tank is empty and the engine just stops. Don't even do that.
Is that what kind of when the condoms come into play?
Were the what?
Condoms you had on you?
I wanted to put them in my pocket.
I wanted
which I
to.
did last night also.
Yeah.
Swingers Club.
At the Swingers
That
Club.
should be noted.
Yeah.
That should be noted. Hey, Catherine Reed, detective, please write down, I had condoms in my pocket last night too.
Yeah. When I wasn't meeting the 13-year-old.
And the judge is going to look over the case and he's like, what? Condoms in his pocket the night before? Case dismissed.
I put
Get outta
the
here.
condoms in my pocket tonight.
Yeah.
If something culminated that it went that direction, I at least
You
had
want to
some
feel you want to be
protection.
safe?
But Jim,
The same reason why I had the
You
nose
realize-
Try to not do
last
that?
night.
is wrong,
in
right?
case that when I went to the Swingers Club, I would have them in that case.
Spirit finger.
And you protect yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Number one, I protect myself. Number two, I protect the person who's involved.
Just
So
like
when I
said,
get them pregnant with my 65-year-old balls.
No, he's shooting blanks, but like, what a weird. I mean, that's the thing. Whatever. I don't want to dive too deeply into this, but like, not to be like, no, it's not just me. Like, condoms are expressly to keep you, the person buying them, from like all the things that they protect you from. But we're like, no, it's not just me. Like, it's a 2-person thing. But by saying that,
That means you have something?
it's a double-edged sword. I'm protecting the other person too. Because if I'm Tom, I go, oh, okay, let's move on. But if I'm me, I go, Protect them from what, Jim?
What you got going on,
Like,
Jim?
if he's smart, he'll say, one of my sperm is still viable, and like, whoops. And like, I don't want to have a baby at 65 with a 68-year-old I met at an old-timey swingers club.
Said you care about people.
Just one
I
sperm.
can understand that you would like you said, you didn't
Thomas
want to
says,
hurt
a
nobody.
part of me
You-
thinks he has to know so long as he doesn't confess. There must be some way out for him because this is criminal mastermind levels of not addressing their sort of questions.
Right, and that's the thing with the human capacity to understand and fully appraise itself is not good. So that's the thing with Jim here and literally everybody else is, you know, you come off as like this whatever, and literally they're using everything against you, and not just the words, right? Because I very seldom will point to somebody's words that they say during one of these interrogations and go like, look at that, they said a thing. It's usually like how they're acting.
Yeah.
Or like the thing they do say, because they say it in such a manner that's like weird, where they go like, yeah, my genitals are always on offer. Come take a peek. Like, that's not a normal thing to say. But if you say it like that casual off the cuff way, you go, yeah, I show my genitals to everybody. And you go, well, that's a weird thing to say.
Exactly. And that's, you know, tonight went in that
Feelings.
direction. You were at least been prepared.
I was prepared if when it came to that point.
Yeah.
Which,
What did it?
did I really expect it to be there?
Did you want it to be there?
No. Oh, yeah, I'd love to be there.
Whoa.
Would you want to be there? Oh, no, it's gross. Give me 18-year-old, 19-year-old. I'll bang the shit out of a college student or someone fresh out of high school. Ooh, baby, I'm Jim Rauch. Cut to 59 minutes in. Would you want to have sex with that 13-year-old, Jim? Oh, boy. Fuck yeah. God damn. Jesus, are you kidding me? She's 13 and I'm James Rauch. Fuck. Jizz time.
Only in the sense that I'm frustrated.
My genitals. Okay, hold on. I have to.
Jizz time, says Jim. An hour before, he says, gross. Give me an 18, 19-year-old boy, happy as a pig in shit. Cut to an hour later. You'd want to get down with that 13-year-old puss there, Jim? Oh, fuck! Hell yeah, fuck yeah, bro. And he throws up a high five waiting for Tom to throw his hand into the screen. Tom?
It's just.
Fuck, Tom? High five? Tom? Jizz time? Jesus. Someone did say jizz time. Ryan
says, now I can't see. My genitals are always on offer. Come take a peek. Jim Rauch business card.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think you should do. Like when you hand someone your business card, it'll look normal in the front, but like in very like smaller than normal words at the bottom. It says, "Oh, flip over for my genitals," and they go, "What?" They go, "Ah, it's Jim Rauch's balls." Jizz time.
I can go down. I can go down.
Jizz time brought to you by Jeffrey Jones. Beetlejuice 2.
I can go down the list. It's been 2 weeks since I've had a. And yeah, I'm frustrated as hell. But expectations of it being there.
I mean, not to like, no, good for him not needing like help medication wise to get going.
I don't know, man. Like, here's the thing: being the owner of a boner occasionally. The thing is,
Boner owner.
Yeah, being an occasional boner owner. The thing is, like, it's. I think most of the time for most of these dudes who can't get boned is because of some mental block. Because the times where I could not get a bone, I've been young enough where I go, this is incongruent with my age or whatever. But like, there was alcohol or some high stress involved or whatever. Right. So that's the thing. I don't think it's. I think dudes get up in their head, they throw a little Grecian formula in their hair because they see some gray and they go, oh no, now my boner doesn't work. They make that decision before trying the boner. They go, oh, it's dead. I had just fermented my beer. Now my boner's dead. They didn't try to test the boner. They just bought the formula and said it's dead. Try it.
Really is aggressive.
Look at Jim. He's white as a fucking ghost.
Being the owner of a boner feels like the Kenny Rogers ballad our dimension never got.
Right? The occasional boner owner. On the same album as Ruby, Don't Take Your Love to Town.
Nature on my part. You know,
But you have feelings. I mean,
well, but what I'm thinking of is, okay, I'm gonna go over and meet her. So what happened? Whatever happens, okay, it's fine. And then I'm thinking about, okay, well, I'm gonna stop over at Rhino's. after it's over with, maybe there's, you know, Rhino's. Rhino's is over. It's a bar over in Eastgate. And okay, so if you know, if this like doesn't happen, or
this not just maybe a personal reference. It is only a personal reference. But when I was listening to Adam Carolla when he was on the air, they talked about the Spearmint Rhino a lot, which is a strip club. So every time I listen to this, and he says I go to the Rhino as a bar, I always think of the Spearmint Rhino, and I go, well, give me some context there, Jim. Like, is it just a bar? And keep in mind, he's like he's going to meet the 13-year-old, and whatever happens, happens. So he's saying, like, possibly if there is some sort of contact, he can go to the bar and, like, get some more strange. What's happening there?
whatever. I'm ready. That's exactly where it was.
He taps his condom holster.
and things would have went. Say things would have went differently tonight, and we were not here. Do you think you could have had a relationship with Cheyenne? Do you think there was enough of a connection there that you could have a relationship with her?
I think it's too early.
Great answer.
Not that I think she's too young.
Let's say you met up with this 13-year-old. I almost said 15. Embarrassing. Let's say you meet up with this 13-year-old. You guys bang one out. She's confused and scared because you look like a grandparent. Do you think after that you could, like, get married? What?
But you did feel connected. You did feel connected to her.
I felt connected to her, but but it was too fast.
Too fast.
fast.
Just too fast.
It probably would have been one of those things where we sat down, have the iced tea, and I went home.
We watched, like, Delgo a few times.
And that's what's so bad about this, because that's where I was. You know, maybe she wasn't the same area, but or whoever it is.
It's weird that, like, he says I would sit down and drink the sweet tea. Now, TCAP has a lot of those type of references. We have the chocolate chip cookies, we have the brownies, we have the sweet tea, we have the Kool-Aid. And in the latter day, we have, like, the red velvet cupcakes. But, like, the tea wasn't a meme yet. Like, when I was listening to, again, Adam Carolla on the radio, and he was making fun of these dudes and talking about TCAP, it was like 2012-ish, 20-teens era. And it's like, oh, the sweet tea. But, like, here Jim is 2006, 2007 being like, oh, the sweet, I would just sit down and have the sweet tea. Like, is he mentioning a meme? Or, like, because this would predate that. Or, like, was there specific mention from Cheyenne being like, yeah, I'll make sweet tea? Because remember the Southern Decoy was like, not Southern Decoy, but that one decoy was like, oh, sweet tea is what we do down south.
Yeah, no, I'm assuming there was mention of iced tea
Because this was Kentucky.
in the chat.
But the sweet tea was it wasn't in Bowling Green, was it? This wasn't the same house. Someone
Wasn't
correct
this
the
Ohio?
lore. This was Kentucky.
Oh, I thought. Okay, I'm confused because I know they both lived in different states. And he went to her, which I thought was Ohio or Cincinnati. Was there Cincinnati?
My mead glass is empty, and the lore is thick and full as a sagebrush. So let's just move on.
Don't forget Wollen's frozen drink.
Fordson. Oh yeah, the classic Woolens. But that was, but no, okay, yeah, you're right with the Woolens frozen margarita. But that never got like a name drop, like the virgin daiquiri or the virgin margarita.
Oh, that was like at the hot tub time, right?
Yeah, that was in California. But no, that's not like a meme reference. Like the sweet tea, the Kool-Aid, those are meme references. No, it's hey, Wollen, pour me a frozen virgin margarita.
Oh, was it Georgia? No.
No,
I
not
really
think so.
was not
No.
trying
This was Bowling Green, Kentucky.
And
Jim, we've done went over that.
Okay, but the point.
Yeah, because he came from Cincinnati, Ohio. I
Okay,
think.
so
'Cause he's
I'm
from
getting
Cincy.
confused. He
'Cause
came
Jeff
from
Stacy
Cincy.
came from Cincy too.
So all right, you're right. Yes. So he came from Cincinnati to,
Bowling Green.
yes.
You still think that there's some sense of that.
But Jim, if you made a mistake, I can handle. You made a mistake tonight.
I did not contrive this girl.
It's impossible to do the murder mistake where you go, hey, did they OD? Did they try to kiss you? Did they come at you with a
Was
knife?
there an
Was it an
accident?
accident? Did they fall down the stairs? It's impossible to be like, did your hand slip onto the keyboard, type a bunch of sexual shit, and then you slipped on a banana peel out to your car, hit the ignition, and drive to another state to have sex with a child accidentally? Whoopsie daisy. No, that doesn't work.
To having sex with me. What I did was I tried to meet with her,
to help her out.
to help her out in what she needs to do. She's going through some stuff with her, if that's really
And
true.
that's
It's
And
obviously
then-
not, Jim.
I still go on with my life.
different from a predator.
Yeah. Well, I hope so.
Relatable.
God, I hope so.
You know,
I hope so. God. And that's
I see the
different from a predator.
I
hope so.
Nobody has said the word predator. No one has, like, they've been so delicate. They have not even accused him of doing anything yet.
No, but I think that, like, if Tom, like, that was, I think, good on Tom to say, because I think he was starting to get a little
Starting to.
antsy about like the whole saying the whole predator, like the word, and saying he wasn't one. And I think Tom saying like, and that is different, because he sat back in his chair again and he was like, all right,
Yeah.
we can keep talking.
I don't know. It just feels like it comes out of nowhere. It's weird. Me?
You.
Also, because
You,
I
Tom.
certainly
there's a
not there.
clear distinction there.
Okay.
Clear distinction. Predatory, not predatory.
I don't want that clapped on top of me.
That's a little late.
Clap.
I've spent
Technology.
many years
Technology.
not keeping away from it,
What?
but being aware that it's out there, and just being careful,
Yeah.
and then to fall on this is like.
But you
Well, you've
all,
not had it.
Here's the thing. Like, if you go into reality, right, things like poison, if you say, I'm aware of poison and I try to stay away from it, that feels like, are you sometimes putting poison in things? Like, what's going on there? Like, if something is a definite bad thing you should stay away from at all costs, to be like, I'm aware of it and I try to stay away from it. It's like when they do interrogation of these people who are addicts and they're involved in murder, and they go, hey, you do them drugs? And they go, I'm aware of it, but try to stay away from it. And they go, what does that mean? Like, yeah, I do meth a lot.
a lot, all the time. I'm on it
Had any
now.
issues before.
No, not at all.
When was the last time you shot up? I haven't done a shot up in months. But here's the thing. The drug cycle is so short. Like how we went from Jim being like, I would never touch a 13-year-old at minute 3 to, yeah, give me that shit at minute 59. Like for a tweaker, it's like, I haven't smoked in months. I haven't smoked in years. And as they go, cuff, cuff, in the back of the car, when was the last time you smoked meth, brother? And they were saying, it's been years. As they were walking, they sit down, they go, about 3:45 this afternoon. Like,
Right.
hella short loop.
Right before you picked me up.
No. But the thing is, music teacher, elementary school,
Uh-oh.
there's
There's that drunk exhale again. I feel like
Yeah.
I want to do one again myself.
magnitudes of shit out there for that.
Magnitudes of shit.
And things like
Ryan asked, did you ever hear of the case of Lori Dan? She was a woman with severe mental illness, a la Kathy Bates in Misery, who tried to kill her husband and several kids she used to babysit back in the 80s.
There are a bunch of. Here's the thing, man. It's like, oh, you're from Ohio? Do you know Bob? Like, there was probably a time and a place where you could say, hey, do you know this part of pop culture? And you could probably get a yes more often than not. I don't know this person. I don't know people by names. I know case particulars and some names I can pull, like Federico Gondola and other major characters, major players. But oftentimes, a lot of these things just sort of roll in together. Like, there are so many wives who, like, either did or attempted to kill their entire family by making them drink antifreeze. Like, it's staggering.
She tried to feed them arsenic-laced Rice Krispies and Capri Suns.
Oh, okay. That's a little more specific. Yeah. I'm not super familiar with that case, but I'm aware of it. It's crazy. But, like, I don't know. The lady poisoners are my...
That's, yeah, like a lot of
almost less interesting than the murder for the insurance.
Right, and even a lot of that time is also poisoning.
Well, no, like murder for the insurance can be anything, but like with Dylan Millard or any of those rich dudes or whatever who want to kill their parents or loved ones.
Oh, I was referring to women doing it for the money.
Oh,
right.
I'm just saying, like,
yeah.
'cause that can happen on any side. Women are by and large going to be poisoners, and you know, I understand, like, it's easy, and like women have to still play that stereotype, but you guys have 80% of the strength we do in most of our bodies. I mean, you know, knives, guns are available. Give up the poison. It's so old timey.
Things like this, if this had ever happened to me, I would be fired from West Claremont immediately.
No shit.
Because of the fact that there is that stigma.
That
And
people
because of the
don't
fact
like
that
adults who have sex with children.
I'm
you
since
know?
retired, so that
They would have fired me for that.
But you should know that. You should know that those qualifications that come along with that territory, and it's
What
not
does that
just
mean?
music teachers, it's the other teachers.
All teachers,
well,
basically.
Any male teachers.
Basically, any adult,
any male or
speaking
female teacher,
sexually toward a child, anything that like, in that genre is weird and gross and against the law.
Yeah.
What was I saying? I'm Jim Rauch.
And like I said,
Like I
don't
said,
see
tonight,
in
feeling.
that category. And while I'm here, is there anything?
While I'm
I
here.
don't think they expect I would find anything, but is there anything in your vehicle that I should know about? Anything?
I don't think so.
Would you mind if any of the officers would look through to see?
There's one copy of Canadian Bareback Boys.
I've no absolutely at all.
Okay, so you don't mind if they look through your vehicle?
I would really, Jim, this is just you to me, guy to guy talking. I'm a car nut, gearhead, a grease monkey. If I could just root around in the back of that champagne Pontiac Aztec, boy, oh boy, make my dream come true. It's one of my bucket list cars. A 71 Chevelle, a fucking 55 Bel Air, and a 2004 champagne Pontiac Aztec.
If they fill up my tires with air.
Well, I don't. I will ask them.
I'm sorry.
I will ask them, but I don't know what you'll get.
The reason I say that is because my light came on.
Oh.
So, my air pressure.
how about they pop your tires, Jim? How about that?
When he does this, like, does he have a gauge?
Yeah,
float? Like, he's got like
his
an
dash is up
augmented
there.
reality screen where it's like Iron Man from the Avengers, and it's like, oh, your light, your tire. What's up here, Jim?
It's just like the lights show up in his rearview mirror.
But you don't mind them taking
So
a
you don't
look?
mind them
absolutely not,
searching?
not at
You
all.
want me to go get those forms?
Yeah, if
I don't do drugs. I don't do that kind of thing. I do drink.
I do drink.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay, bye. We have fun.
When she leaves the room, if you've seen this before, you know what's up. But, you know, now when it's guy to guy, Jim can finally open up, and he's, you know, get ready, guys. If you cry easily, Jim's going to turn on the waterworks, so get some Kleenex handy. Yes.
I've had my drinks.
It's like, what is it, Minority Report, and he's moving things around in his fucking
And
car.
hence.
I'm not sure of that shit. I was a professional musician for years and years. Never did drugs.
Never did drugs or anything?
Oh, God, the drug stories.
Well, I could one experience. I'll share.
What?
Okay, I'll share.
You
This
twisted
was
my arm.
ex-wife. We were, I guess we were like, I don't know, 3 or 4 married,
Dude, you've seen this, right, Thomas? You know he cries. You know he cries.
We had a 30-year marriage. And she said, well, we want to try that pot shit.
Try that pot shit.
So I made arrangements to get this pot from somebody. I don't remember who it
Can I
was.
buy one
I want
pot?
to drop some tabs of that acid shit, Jim. Can you get an acid dealer? Where's my mushroom dealer?
And we had rolled these little cigarettes and stuff.
My little joint cigarettes.
Didn't feel a fucking thing, right? She took a one draw of this, and she got deathly sick. I mean, deathly sick. I'm
She's
telling you,
dead.
at the end of the whole evening, I had called the doctor, and I had taken her to the hospital.
So you had a whole night of just her idea.
Oh,
Someone with like ethics and morals and like care for other human beings would like express the story, in a way that shows their heightened alertness and stress during. Because like, if I gave my wife a joint and she decided to feel like she's gonna die, I would feel upset about that. And if I were to tell the story later, I would express that and be like, well, at least at the end, it was all okay. I wouldn't be like, hey, she almost died. And in the end, it was, oh, whoo. Like, you just want to glance over the whole thing, Jim? Like, by the end of the night, I'd called the doctor. What's happening?
Thomas Baloney Mahoney Alley Cat says, my dad is still alive, so I can't cry yet. Once he's gone, I'm gonna rent Land Before Time again. And start. You're gonna rent it?
I'm going to rent it.
Probably free on Pluto.
The Land Before Time is fucked, man.
Yeah, it's
Like,
terrible. It's
the dad dies and then the mom is murdered. Whatever.
oh God! It was, that's one of the only two times the other time
radio.
was,
Do you blaze?
I was playing.
Do you blaze? Yeah, I gave her the tiny. I rolled this tiny little marijuana
died.
cigarette. I gave it to her. I didn't feel a fucking thing, guys. Lady almost died. Me and Jim Rauch had a very similar pot experience.
Playing a New Year's Eve job in Ashland, Kentucky, and it was
big old
the snow
belly,
was really bad, and I
goddamn.
had help move some equipment and stuff, and I pulled
It's all
it back.
full
and
of
they took me to the
Pompilios.
hospital, and they gave me a damn shot of morphine at that time in Ashland. I couldn't sit up at the piano. I swear to God, I couldn't play. I couldn't play with shit. They'd hired me for like $100 for that night. And
$100?
That's my drug thing.
It's my drug of
I drink
choice.
vodka. I drink a lot of different things.
A lot of different things.
Probably a couple
Rainwater.
drinks a night.
Just a couple drinks tonight. Yeah.
Yeah.
She said
Jim Rauch
tonight you
holds court with the presence of a royal lord.
Mm-hmm.
Like he has no fear of these officers, not even fear, but like mild flavor respect.
Right, and that's the beauty of this. It's not necessarily by any stretch of the imagination of interrogation.
No.
It's
They have all they need.
They sit here, they listen to Jim for 2 hours, complain about his life as they slip documents under his nose
Yeah.
to
Sign.
get signed before he sobers up to get a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
It's not interrogation. This, again, I brought it up before. This is a 2-hour therapy session that Jim just takes out by blood, sweat, and tears via Tom Nishke and Catherine Reed.
tonight you said you just had a couple
Yeah.
drinks.
Yeah.
Couple vodka tonics, I think you said. Or,
And that's what I usually do. I usually come home, take a couple drinks, and just relax, and that does.
Here's the thing, guys. Like, I pour myself a glass every time we do a show. So twice a week, you'll see, and otherwise I don't. And even that feels like a little much. Like, sometimes I'm like, should I again? I did it Wednesday. And Jim's like, yeah, 3, because a couple drinks is not a couple. A couple beers isn't a couple.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably blasting through a few bottles a week. I can't imagine that life. Yikes.
can I get home, just kind of relax a little bit?
And I do at home. I do, and until I get a phone call that says, "Hey, you want to come over?"
Yeah, there I am just pounding vodka tonics until a 13-year-old calls me up out of the blue and says, hey, come on over. And I go, yep.
I made sweet tea.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Jim, we're just talking here.
Jim, we're just
and
dudes.
That's the
Chilling
main
out.
thing.
That's the main thing.
I really have not done anything wrong here.
That's debatable.
Follow up
Nothing
on
wrong.
something.
Please, can you just fucking let me go? Because there's nothing wrong here. I'm fine.
Else has provoked me to
Here's the
Message
Yeah.
redacted.
And you like what we talked about, you just
I just cut it off.
you have a thing, you felt a connection, you felt a need to help her.
Well, but the
and
thing
she was
is,
gonna help you.
it isn't a real person. So what I do is I cut it off, which is like my operandi anyway. Which is I cut people off. from
Operandi.
doing anything,
But you didn't
which is
know it
probably
wasn't a
more
real
detrimental.
person until you got caught.
Yeah, that's when he
How
cuts
can
it
you
off.
do that? There's
That's
a
my
lot there.
operandi. I
Anytime you
get
get close
caught
to
and then I say
somebody-
no more.
I'm waiting for him to be like, there's a
I
caveat
have
to
someone
that.
that's really close to me right now, but she just, if she would come close to me, it would be my euphoria.
Yeah.
There are other people that I was dating. a
Here's the
couple,
thing. There's the thing. Everywhere is the thing. FFOP has a show. E-I-E-I-O.
You got me.
5 people, maybe one person up in Wilmington, one person in Dayton, all in one.
Can you believe that like there are people out there who are involuntary celibates, and Jim has 5 different individuals he can move from municipality to municipality, getting his dick wet in each one, and there are dudes out there tipping their fedoras, being like, "I'm the ultimate gentleman. Why won't ladies get with me?"
Right.
Right?
Thomas says, Jim, we're just 2 dudes, 2 innocent men.
2 innocent dudes.
2 predators bearing down on them lil sparrow bone bitches. Am I right?
Sparrow bone
And all
bitches.
legitimate and all real people.
Sounds like you were innocent. She was innocent. Everybody was innocent.
And I said, well, the real person I want to be with is right here.
And I pointed
And
to my
so I
dick.
sent these emails to these other ones and said, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to stop seeing you because I really want to see this one person.
And they were like, "No, don't cut off my gym supply."
That's hard.
But your
It is
balls, Jim.
Mainly because I know that she's the right person. I mean, I kind of been married. I was married for 30 years and it was the wrong person.
Yeah.
And I'm not.
You hear it's starting to creep into
Yeah.
his voice. He's gonna get the like. God, when Catherine comes back, he's gonna play it off, and it's gonna be so cringe.
This person for
We're just normal men. We're just innocent men. Bonus
you work
points
with
to
or-
anyone who gets
No,
that one.
Actually, no.
Just normal,
It's
innocent
somebody
men.
who I have had acquaintance with.
I don't get that reference.
Me either.
And she's divorced and everything's fine. She's got older kids. I have older kids. And
I've also got younger kids. I've got middle-aged kids.
just-
Got really
she
old
just
kids.
is so scared
She's so scared.
of.
She just can't settle down. Me and her, 68 and 67. She's just so full of life. Like, when are you gonna settle down? Let those wild oats take root. Jim talks like he's fucking 17. Oh, here we go.
Come on in. I'll say
The
it.
same person that left.
Yeah. Can I have that chat from
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Hey,
that
Tom,
chat.
I gotta get the fuck out of here.
copy of it? So
Give me that chat.
Okay.
Actually,
This thing's as thick as a phone book. Not the yellow pages, obviously, but the white pages, probably.
No
the
problem.
person I'm talking about is, and again, this is, you can take it for her. So she's actually a social worker.
Hey, can I have the folder for everyone?
Give it
Sorry, I'm
No,
sorry
that's
to
all
interrupt
right.
you guys. I know
Do
you're
what you
going
have to do.
chatting, and
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
All right.
She's actually a social worker.
This is like the kind of vibe you'd get like between 2 workers in like a break room eating donuts that someone else brought in.
Yeah.
And like someone came in like, "Hey, did you get it? I printed something out earlier. Did you guys see if it came out on the printer back here? I
I'm
can't
sorry.
see which one it came to. Oh, those donuts? Hey, cool. Anyway, I'll catch you guys later. See you at lunch. Hey, go Packers," or whatever.
She does this sexual abuse, and she does exactly what you guys are doing, except for on a medical aspect of it instead of a legal.
What?
Okay. This kind of helps people out too. See.
So when dudes like you victimize children, she helps them medically?
Yeah.
The fuck?
Basically,
Solid. I think Jim runs this town. Like, we're watching a show put on for our benefit. He owns the cops, he owns the gambling, and the mayor. He is the mayor. This
Right.
whole town is his, and you're not getting out.
That's the thing. He's going to. You've probably seen this, Thomas, and if you haven't, you at least nailed the aesthetic. He's going to later tell stories about like the famous people he knows, and like he did see the mayor's wife and all the places he's played. Like, that's the thing. Jim has no clout, but
Thinks
he's
he
like
does?
Cyrax a little bit. He's got nothing, but he thinks he's holding a straight flush.
She's now a supervisor. She's working for Job and
She's working for a job.
All the ones with the Marcus White cycles.
Visor.
Yeah, Job and
Local reference, who cares? Move
It's
on.
part of the state of Ohio.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Anyway, so she's working with them. She's working as a supervisor. She works with basically physical abuse. She used to work with sexual abuse.
Okay.
God, day in and day out.
Damn, that's hard.
Oh God, it's horrible. I mean,
Gosh, she told me about this one case. This 67-year-old man with a huge gut drove to her house after getting loaded on gin and tonics. Oh God, what a monster!
I would see her 2-3 times a week, and every time she'd come with another story of somebody that's been doing some crap.
Imagine how hard it was for me to hide my boner.
Right.
But now she's involved. She's a supervisor, but she's a supervisor over this physical abuse. I don't know if it's any worse or better. I mean, she's got 3 times a week. She's got some kid who's been killed by the parents.
It's overwhelming.
Oh, it is. It really is. It really is. And I sympathize with that. But that goes along with my.
And I
feelings
sympathize
here
with
that. Anyway.
too, because I respect what she does, and I kind of like. I just wish you'd reach a point where you were happy with dealing with that and can go to sleep at night knowing that you've done the right decision.
This, not to bring up Cyrax again, but this again, he kind of feels a little bit like Cyrax, where Cyrax will say, "I respect the fuck out of you, dog," and shit like that, where like it's not real, but whatever Jim's equivalent of like screaming at the top of his lungs, calling his detractors fuck bags, he probably does that as well.
Probably. Sometimes when the children get too old, we grind them into the chicken and feed it to the soldiers coming back from abroad. Yeah. The Colonel Rauch.
That's a modest Kentucky Fried proposal.
But it's hard. It's very hard. And the divorce was hard.
I hope you guys enjoyed that joke. I also hope that was a good reference. I'm pretty sure a modest proposal is where he talks about eating babies. Double check that.
Between her and her husband, her ex-husband. My divorce wasn't as well. I say that.
Say
You
what?
didn't say a thing.
The first time that my ex-wife and I, after 4 years, were able to sit in the same room.
Really?
Yeah.
That bad?
Yeah.
Oh,
and it
damn,
wasn't me,
Jim.
It was her. She's
I love that. It wasn't me, it was her. It's like, Jim, the one thing you can say about Jim is that, like, he's a fucking really cool dude who's never at fault. And
He deserves a Subway.
based on this 1 hour and 12-minute interaction, I can definitely say, yeah, his ex-wife probably was a bitch and it was all her fault. So what's your fucking problem?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, I wish I could send her a postcard.
she couldn't do it.
Do what?
So,
What does that mean, Jim?
and then they add this onto it. God. Let's put it.
Oh, man, when my ex-wife finds out I'm a pedophile, wowza, she's going to be mad.
Let's add it up on the.
What you got? What made you guys separate or leave each other?
Well, to be perfectly honest,
I liked younger
the
women.
woman was
Perfectly
talking about
honest.
that she wasn't totally committed to me, but I had
Adios,
had a
Ryan.
relationship with her.
Bye.
And her husband was a judge.
Grr. Prosecute me for
And
crimes.
he has made it absolutely miserable for her to move on to anything. And I don't know. We connected. Actually, connected at church. I was an organist, and she was a piano player for one of the groups, and we grew, and I knew her kids. It was really healthy. It was really healthy, except for the fact that he didn't want it to happen. And
When someone as disgusting as Jim says something like that, right, where he goes, this relationship was really healthy. And he goes, we met at church. Dubious of his relationship status. She's got kids. What is that? What does that look like? Right? Like, because perception is the problem. And you say what you could say is healthy might just feel comfortable.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
and he didn't know what to do.
Stop
diving.
He lost his control.
Lost his control.
Yeah. And but the thing is, I've been trying to over the years trying to recoup that. And she's gotten her independence to the point where there's not a control issue anymore. It is, but it's a control issue on her part. I could care less. Come on, you know.
What are we talking about?
I love you.
The ex-wife? The first ex-wife?
Okay, to cut through the bullshit, this is the person that he wants to tell all the other people he fucks to go pound sand for.
Oh.
But she won't because she's scared of
the ex-husband?
Or Yetis
or current
I don't know, Mothmen.
We could have a great life together. I want my independence. It's okay. I can deal with it.
It sounds like you made peace with it.
I've made peace with it, as long as she understands that I truly do, to my dying day. She's the one I love. I mean, I really do.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he was married for 30 years.
Right. He's expressed nothing. Like when I talk to someone about something and I get, choked up about it, it's usually because I'm expressing details and it like there's a human connection. This just feels like he doesn't quite know the particulars of what like a relationship is, but someone told him like, hey, guess what? You were in love once and now you're sad. And he goes, okay, got it. But then he turns around and thinks to himself, I've never been in love, but I know what being sad is. So I guess I can fake the other part?
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Man, I have no feeling they've done anything for the hour.
Right? I'm saying we've wasted an hour and 15 minutes they've entertained every one of his tangents and also not what's the word, not addressed, but not like confronted him on any of the things they have in the chat.
No.
When he goes, no, until tonight I never talked about my penis. That was minute 7. And in minute 63 he's like, genitalia 24/7. I see the genitals. It's on the screen. I'm showing my genitals to people. My genitals are all over the internet. But it's not because they got it out of him through rapport building or deft questioning or use of evidence. It's just because Jim forgot to lie.
Well, it's okay, but that and 50 cents, what does it get you? You end up being lonely because you can't see her. But here's a perfect example. Last 2 weeks, she had a breast exam.
Here's a perfect example.
It turned out that there was something they wanted to relook at. So they looked at this thing.
This violates HIPAA, by the way. Don't do this.
Here I am sitting over here. She can't talk to me because if her kids see her talking to me, it's like the plague is hit. Her ex-husband is there, and she's worried about that. Yeah. She does worry about that. And then comes down to the fact, well, not only the second examination, but we're going to have a biopsy too.
Oh, you're mean.
I can't go in the hospital.
I'll be your best friend. Ah, come on.
I can't say.
Come on, leave town, Jim.
Do anything for her. For fear that there'll be repercussions from an asshole who really doesn't have any control over it.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I know what
No,
you're saying.
not a fucking clue.
So I'm really frustrated.
Jim gets no sub. He gets no 10-piece. He gets no spicy double. He gets no junior
Water.
bacon with cheese. He gets nothing.
In that aspect, because the fact is, I do care about her, and I'm thinking she's going to die. Her mother died of breast cancer, and she's got a couple places. God, I'm just going through all this shit.
Who is this woman,
Yeah,
Jim?
I'm thinking.
What is going on?
Yeah, well, I'll sit in my house and I'll do her music.
Yeah.
Poor Jim,
He'll
right?
be gone.
Sounds like it does hurt.
I mean, realistically, I don't really internalize intellectually that it does hurt. I have no idea what you're saying. However, I do see that you are sad, Jim, and I'm at least deft enough to understand that sad. Nice work, Tom.
Maxwell English, if you ever get to the point of the live that we are at, I think this is pretty funny. Because we haven't talked about a junior bacon sound for a while.
Funny.
And it weighs on you.
What? What am I going to say? Well, I'm going to come to the hospital anyway. It just aggravates it.
Yeah.
So I said, do it.
Why is he upset? Like, there's no details to understand why he's upset about this.
Yeah.
My job is great. I have a great job, by the way.
Sounds like it. You said you
Sounds like
Oh,
it.
I love it. Don't take that away from me. I'll fuck you.
This always struck me as akin to the guy who said he was going to shove the camera down the dude's throat. As I'll shove the camera down, like a lighthearted threat, where it's like, "Don't take my job, or I will fuck you." Yeah, now I'm getting hungry, you motherfuckers.
Yeah, I'm like sitting here. I could hear my stomach growling.
Quit bringing up double Western cheeseburgers, you bastards.
That's I
Went to Burlington and walked right out. I went to Burlington. He couldn't afford the Coat Factory.
Well, I put sample list.
I just keep it cordial.
No, I
Please don't
do
fuck
love
me,
it.
Jim. Those huge balls
I
of
do web
yours.
pages every day.
Hey. Everybody okay?
Hey.
No, we're just crying like shit. And he's just weird. Like, he's gonna lump Tom into this bullshit. Like, he's crying about this fat fuck that like is one of his fuck buddies. We're just crying like shit, me and Tom. Look at his eyes, poor Tom. This puffy ass bitch. He's crying. I'm a man. Jim Rauch.
No, we're just crying like shit.
Here's his.
We're just crying like shit.
He's trying
You
to
missed the emotional part.
Oh, well, I'm glad.
Good.
You for me, right?
Right. Anyway, no, I do. I really do love my job. My job is a good job. So we're gonna have to beer win.
Well, we have some housekeeping stuff that we have
Okay,
to
just
take
do what you
care
gotta
of
do.
first.
How many interviews have you guys watched with me where they go, they say exactly that sentiment, except they do an hour and 16 minutes ago?
Yeah.
Like they don't get to the end. They go, "Where's some housekeeping?" But here's the thing: they've got nothing. They know he's not going to give them anything because he can't be directed. But they'll shove papers under his face to sign, which is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You want to go ahead and...
Yeah. First of all, I've asked you about your vehicle. You said there was nothing in there, nothing in there that we should worry about anything. You had no problem with us looking at it. All I'm going to ask you to do, if you're willing to do, is just sign that you're okay with that.
Okay.
Let's see.
Again, I've done nothing wrong. I'm not going to jail. I will not be on the sex offender registry, and no one is going to call me drunk from YouTube to then later post that call in its entirety. So, yeah, I'll do whatever you want, detective. For you, Tom?
As long as that's what it says.
That's what it'll say.
And you'll have an opportunity to read it.
All night.
all night long.
Yeah, you're going to jail.
Let's see here.
So we're now at the part of the interrogation where they realize that he's not receptive to questions. And not only that, I believe they've realized that they have no questions to ask him. They don't know what they're doing there. They're both out of their depth, and they both want to go home. So that's why the forms are coming out. I have a car in my vehicle, sir.
No, I really do like my job. I do web pages. And,
You're so far behind.
I tried.
It's hilarious.
I go in at 6:30 in the morning, and I usually go at 2:30.
At the university.
Yeah, come on, Justin.
Yeah.
And
Sounds like a lot of freedom.
actually, it's the University of Cincinnati is really well. The people I work for are
I hope they don't
really
fire me for that.
flexible about that. I go actually, if it's a good morning, I'll go in and exercise and go to the rec center. And do
Based on Jim's body type, how many good mornings do you think he has in a
No, I
year?
don't think that many.
Say, hey, Jim, 365 days. I'm going to look at your body. How many good mornings you have where you hit that gym?
Oh, yeah.
and
Two?
then show up about 7 or 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, the vehicle information.
Is it in here?
So what's the story on me, guys?
You're a fucking sex predator.
Right now, we'll just do the housekeeping, and I can give you a little bit more of a answer here.
Let's finish this 28 minutes of housekeeping.
Be like vehicle
How many fucking forms did you bring in here, Catherine? What the fuck?
information.
I'll see if it's in
Kind of
This is
kind
a
of vehicle that
farce.
you had.
It's a Aztec, Pontiac Aztec 2003. That's what they call it. I didn't really know. Oh, 2007.
I love the sounds of paperwork.
You know how this is in terms of being somebody who does with web pages all the time.
Well, but I think we've kind of reached that issue. You know, it's we've talked about that, and I think we will address those issues. You know.
We'll address those issues.
Pontiac Aztec,
Champagne.
four-door wagon.
One of the funny things about this is like, because he tries to impress the 13-year-old by saying it's champagne. He goes, "Oh, I drive in the chat log. He's like, I drive a Pontiac Aztec," and then like, she's like, "What color?" He's champagne. She goes, "What's that?" And he goes, "Tan."
It's tan.
Wagon,
Shiny
sport,
tan.
utility.
That sounds good. How much were you giving me for it?
Oh wow! I'm
about that.
not that good.
I was ready to sell it a year ago, and they wouldn't give me any shit.
Yeah, guess what? Pontiac didn't really sell much.
That's the way it goes. They depreciate so
Oh,
fast
it's
as soon as you pull them off
It is
the lot.
absolutely terrible.
It is absolutely terrible.
Let's see if I can do this.
Okay.
So, have either one of you taken the master's degree online program
So now let me ask you a few questions, detectives.
at UC?
No, have you set it? Did you set it up?
I have been there since the very beginning of it, and it works.
Here's that's so fucking annoying. I hope you're aware enough like to not do this. If someone asks you a question like that, and I find myself doing this too, because everybody wants to build themselves up more than they are, or like insinuate that they're more important than they are. Don't do that. It just makes you look like an asshole, like Jim just did. When she goes, "Oh, have you been there working on XYZ?" And he goes, "I've been there since the beginning."
It works pretty great.
Right. So like if I walk into a nuclear power plant, right, and I talk to a dude in like coveralls, and I go, "How long you been here?" "I've been here since the beginning." "What do you do around here?" "I've been here since the beginning." Right. The beginning, when the doors open, you started mopping up the bathrooms or what?
Right. What do you do?
Yeah, like, have you been instrumental in this program? I've been there since day one. It's not an answer, you
Yeah.
fucking asshole.
I'm pretty
The
much
beginning.
involved with
I've been there from the beginning.
The mechanics of it online.
I do the delivery part of it.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean shit.
They've got top-notch people running the program.
Yeah. Have to look into it.
It's about $2,000 a quarter.
Here's the thing. Anytime somebody asks me what I do or like how integral I am, I downplay it. I am not worth much. But when someone asks me what I am worth, I say less than that. Because I don't want to come off as one of these assholes. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't want to go like, yeah, well, yeah, I do this job and I'm the top of this and I'm better than this person, yada, yada, yada. Because nobody likes a braggart, but also, like, who gives a fuck?
Quarter. But you can complete it in 2 years.
Humble for 300.
Master's degree.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Who accredited them?
It's accredited by you would ask me.
Great question.
It's accredited by the people who accredit university education department.
What?
You can give them a call.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, I started us down this road. I'm trying to, like, essentially soft pitch you the idea of getting your bachelor's in criminal justice, but call the fucking number.
Yeah, I don't know.
Fuck you, bitch. Catherine.
Because there's no accreditation department for criminal justice at this point in the state of Ohio. I don't know if in Kentucky where there is or not, but in the state of Ohio there isn't. Florida this far.
What are we doing here, Jim?
Yeah.
I have to look at it and see.
I mean, if you're looking for a master's degree, it's an easy way to go. Coursework isn't too bad. A lot of reading.
Yeah.
You just see, like, the University of Cincinnati's logo, but, like,
I work with
So, go ahead.
I work with all the professors that do their delivery, and so whatever tests.
What does that mean?
Whatever kind of like we call modules. There's 5 modules. Every course is a 5-week course, and it's about just off the top of my head, about $2,000 per quarter.
let's start over, says Matt. Welcome, Matt.
So if you're talking
Welcome, Matt.
Welcome.
Get it?
2 years, you're talking
a pun.
16 quarters. That's about $30,000. But it gets you a master's degree in criminal
So can I sign you guys up, or what the fuck's up with that shit?
justice.
You guys
It's a
gotta book
master's
me.
degree.
a
Before
couple
I
of
get
assholes.
fired.
Master of Science degrees. Try it again. Master of Science degree in criminal justice.
It feels like James gets like a fucking $100 bird dog for everybody who like he recommends.
Yeah.
Like when I was a car salesman, like if somebody came in because of a recommendation I gave them, I would get a $100 bird dog. And that's what like is the University of Cincinnati being like, hey, Jim and company, everybody you get onboarded through whatever, we'll give you $100 in your next paycheck.
Yeah, you just have to mention
Fucking crazy.
J-Dog
The top
here.
criminal justice
I've been there since day one.
programs in the country.
Mm-hmm.
It's right now UC's number 5 in the country.
There's 7, so.
And these are top-notch. The actual professors do look at stuff. I don't know if you know any of their.
Oh, well, thank God. Because that's the thing. When I was going to college, I was like, did the professors look at stuff? And they were like, no. And I was like, I'm not going here.
Names or anything of your.
I want them to look at stuff.
But they're the people that are changing what happens. What you guys do day in day out.
They're the guys who change what
What?
happens. Yeah, the
They change your jobs.
the people they hire at Cincinnati Community College are the ones changing what you guys do here in Kentucky every day. Yeah, it's a weird ecosystem, and I can't explain it, but
That's what
please don't look into it. Chat is chat, Matt.
Has their
Chat
program
is chat.
been really successful?
Yes.
The online?
The
Yes.
online program, we started 5 years ago with 15 students. We now have over 600.
Wow.
And
That's phenomenal growth.
well, yeah, and it brings in about $2 million a year.
Oh, shit.
Profit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So anyway, about this 13-year-old I was going to bang.
What am I signing my life
Oh, sorry.
away?
All right, we'll do this first one here.
Well, we're about to get to see what Tom looks like. And if you haven't seen him yet, buckle up. He's not what you think he looks like. I guarantee it.
This is for your vehicle. I circled vehicle located at Highland Heights Police
Come on, move the
Department.
camera.
On Heights,
He
Kentucky,
does it later.
1476.
He's just slow.
And more particularly describes a
There we go.
2003 Pontiac
Come on.
Aztek, Ohio plate DG73LC, and your VIN number.
There he is. Could you this is Tom Nishke. On what planet does he look like this? Not in a million years would I have expected him to look like that.
I didn't really.
He looks like a doughy Keebler elf with a flat top.
I didn't have an idea in my head of what he looked like, so this just looks fine.
I mean, look at him. His gun is so big. It looks like if he fell over, he would be crushed by it.
I grant his consent to Detective Tom Nitschke, which is me.
Which is me.
Known to me, I marked that out, detective with the Campbell County Police Department, and to such other officers deemed necessary to assist. I know that I had a right to refuse to consent, and I have
He has a little bit of a Gary Coleman quality to him.
voluntarily give up that right. I know that the agent does not have to have a search warrant. But,
You want
Tom.
to search the fucking car?
well,
Yeah, you need to, right?
I have not been threatened or coerced in any way, and I've not been promised any favor
Is that
or
what I just did?
Nah. I had a
I fucking hate bureaucracy. I hate it in its every fucking form. Case in point, if you ever have to call Medicare and they say, what's the date of service? If you say X day or X day of X month of this year and you use the term this year, it is almost impossible to screw up what this year is as long as I am talking to you and we are both living, breathing human beings. But more than once, they say, can I have you say the date again in full? And I go, fuck you. I don't actually say that. But what the fuck? I've got to be no, it's February 13th of 2024. I can't say this year. Someone possibly in 3578 will pop this into a player of whatever origin or type and go what year was that? He said this year, but now I'm
Not
really
this year.
Could there be criminal charges brought about because of this? Probably, because he said this year instead of 2024. Fuck.
I have read his consent form, or it has been read to me, and I understand it.
I understand it.
Okay,
Okay.
well, I need you to sign your name there, print it, and put your address, and then we'll sign this witness.
Okay.
Look at his little mustache. Tom's little mustache there.
Oh, I don't like that.
He's got a full-grown adult head and big, doughy, lower than JV wrestler body. He's not serious about it, but he's got dreams of being a pro wrestler one day, and he hasn't even made it to the professional circuit, but he does a lot of backyard shit. And he shaves his arms but just look at his head. That's not a voice for this head.
That's not a mustache for that head.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah, I
we
don't
could
like
have
that.
made much out of the signature.
But that is my real signature.
Yeah.
Nobody's
Nobody cares.
Sure.
All witnesses here.
I gotta sit back down again.
Whoa!
Just one other piece of housekeeping here.
Are you
Here,
ready?
you can keep your.
Yeah. No, you can MC. The only other thing is, I know you said you had nothing in your.
Tom Nishke looks like a giant baby.
Yeah.
He's like a toddler that someone put a crew cut and mustache on him, go be a cop, and he's like, yay!
house. Do you have anything inside your residence there on
Brandy Way.
Brandy Way? Is there anything in there that would give us any concern? You said you didn't have anything.
You have, the only thing that you would have would be the computer things, but you have all the references to that.
Do you have a problem with anybody looking in there and make sure there's nothing of.
So Tom is basically looking for CP, whereas Jim, I think, is going to be more concerned over a pirated copy of Photoshop or Adobe something or other. You'll get to it.
I want to see my genitalia.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Plus the genitalia joke.
Got me off guard there, Jim. You got me.
Yeah, we're
I really?
Gotcha, Tom. You can check out my computer if you want to look at my balls. Yeah, fuck you, Tom.
Yeah, you got me.
It's late.
Yeah, it's late.
It's
No,
late.
there's nothing on there. I don't keep pornography on there. I don't distribute pornography.
Who keeps pornography on their computer in this day and age where everything streams? If you're saving copies of pornography on your computer, you're a sycophant, right? Because most of the if you're a normal person, you stream the normal stuff. But if you're saving shit on your computer, it's unlikely you're going to find it in the usual spots. Right? Because
Yes.
again, Chatterbait, that's a streaming service, I imagine. King Cobra brings it up a lot. Look into it if you want.
Pornography. If somebody wants to go in there and go through and find some sort
Me, I
of
mean,
program
who?
that I have, say,
There's no kiddie porn or anything like that.
no.
And it doesn't all everything that's going to find
If
is
there
adult
is.
stuff.
No, I'm not even talking about that stuff. I'm talking about if somebody goes in, they find out that I have a piece of software that I have.
Oh.
There's the classic Jim Rauch, like, "Mrrr." And it's in reference to, I don't know, like a pirated copy of Photoshop, like
Yeah.
an illegitimate version of Windows. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but that is one of my favorite Jim Rauch moments where it's like, "Mrrr."
Napster.
Like
Somebody
Flores or
else,
something.
That there might be something like that, but there's no, I don't do
Like
that.
he's got an illegal copy of Pirates of the Caribbean
Yeah.
or something.
You have no problem with that?
No.
Okay. Well, what I'll do, I'll just do another consent if you don't have a problem with that.
Okay, but does that mean that they come in and take my computers away and cause me a problem not to do
Yeah,
work?
you're going to
Well,
jail.
that could be an issue.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, if there's information, I mean, if they deemed it feels like it could have some information that they may need, yeah, that is a possibility.
That's his business.
So give me some help here.
I can't tell you what to do. That'd be. I mean,
Help!
You guys are cops, right? You're here to serve me, right? Like you
We're best
can-
friends.
Not only can you use the things I say against me, but they can use for me too, right, guys? We're friends. Tom, Catherine?
We cried together, Tom.
Tom, we were crying like
it's up to
shit.
you. How I mean, if,
I don't want to seem like I'm not cooperative because I really am cooperative
Yeah.
because I really don't have the kiddie porn shit on there.
Yeah.
If they want to do
Right.
I
that,
really
if there's
don't.
kiddie porn shit on there, somebody else has put it on there from some site or something. But in the
Why
same
say that?
regard,
Yeah.
I need to be able to use my computer.
okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So
For chat.
it's up to you. If
Listen, the business I do, I need access to the internet for those sexy,
The web
sexy
pages.
teens.
you want to consent or not, I'm leaving that up to
We
you.
can't make you any
They'll
promises
get a
on
warrant.
how
I can't
quick
say
you
no,
would
we're
get
not.
it
what if I don't
back or
sign
not.
it? What happens if I don't sign it?
Then
Then
you don't sign
You
it.
don't sign it. That's
We get a warrant, and then you got to give them to us anyway.
It's
Only-
completely your.
This is one of those things where, like, if you're stupid or if you're trying to use this as a tactic, it works either way, which is not at all. If you say, I don't want to do X, Y, Z, like when Daryl Brooks, like he says, I don't want to participate, like produce the state of Wisconsin, like be the biggest pain in the fucking ass that you want. It doesn't matter. The legal system is set up in such a way that even if you gum up the works, you cannot stop those gears from grinding you into a paste and shitting you into a concrete fart box. So if you want to be like Daryl and be like, show me the state of Wisconsin, show me this, show me that, like I'm a sovereign
Grounds.
citizen, or like there was recalls or whatever. Or if you're too stupid to be like Jim here and be like, well, you can't take my computers because I got to go to work tomorrow. It doesn't matter. Like you can kick and scream. It's like when my kid, he's 5. If he wants to pitch a shit fit, it doesn't matter how big a shit fit he pitches. I'm taller and stronger than him, so it doesn't matter if he doesn't want to go to his room. I can pick him up and put him in there. And there's nothing he can do about it. Because he is like Jim and I am like the legal system. He can go like, no, I want to appeal, or I think this is fucked, or, I've got extenuating circumstances. And all of that happens as I'm walking him into the room to set him down on the floor. It doesn't fucking matter.
Right.
But
Your call.
Okay, but in lieu of the conversation that we just had, I'm not putting you on the spot, but that is my reasoning for doing it.
Okay. That's fine.
I have to have access to my computer. I have to have it in order to do my job.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're
I'm
not
not
going
going to force you
back
to,
to work.
sign anything that you don't feel you want, and then I understand your reasoning. That's fine. And I'll just leave it at that.
Because here's the thing, you're not going home.
Do you want to do the statement?
Yeah.
Let him write his own
Oh, this is so stupid. They ask him if he wants to write a statement, like his side of the story, which you never do. Here's what they'll do, what detectives will do. And I've seen this happen a lot recently, is like, it's not as overt as Jim here, where they go, hey, since your fucking blood alcohol content is like 0.127, would you feel like writing a statement, like it's essentially your side of the story that we can use against you? They'll sometimes frame it as like, hey, would you write an apology letter, or would you care to pass on a message to whoever? It's basically just they're asking you to create physical evidence, or a copy of your confession.
And get your DNA on a pencil if they need to.
No, they don't. They can they'll get a barcode swab. They don't give a fuck about that. But like, what a jury would love to see is a letter from Jim being like, sorry, I tried to bang you, Cheyenne.
Yeah, but I totally would have. I brought condoms from the night before.
Right, like I said it already, but here's a letter.
The last thing here, I overlooked it here.
No?
Would you be willing to write a written statement of what happened tonight, or
Oh, well, I'd like to eventually have one.
would you like to write a written statement?
Do I have to write one?
Your own written
It
statement.
depends on what you're going to come across with. If you
Would you like to write a written statement about what happened tonight? Well, if I take you to mean what I think you mean, which is the exact opposite of what you actually do, you're going to write something? Is it going to be good? I mean, it's not even like it's not like there was a mix-up of words. They didn't use vernacular that was confusing or confounding in any way. They asked him, hey, would you like to write your own side of the story, essentially? And he goes, how's it going to come across when you guys write that shit? Listen, Jim, you fuckwit.
If you come off it's so negative that I'm a pervert and that I want out.
No, this is from you. This is your account of what happened.
What I'm saying is, I don't know what you have there, so.
It's basically
It's a blank.
It's a blank sheet of paper that you would take in your possession. We would hand you a pen or pencil. You would use that writing implement, using your vernacular, I assume English, your side of the story, and would use it as evidence against you, Jim. Now, come on.
Blank statement.
it's a voluntary statement. It's blank. It just lets you know your rights.
It lets me know my rights.
It lets you know your rights.
If I don't put anything does that relinquish my rights?
Yeah, if you don't want to write anything.
You guys remember when he was like, I hate to tell you guys this, but I'm in criminal justice. And now he's asking if the document that he is being asked to fill out, which is simply just a blank sheet of paper, will have his rights listed on it. And if he does not write on that paper, will his rights be revoked? I know that is the fucking stupidest thing that I've ever heard, and I am not a criminal justice major. I've never studied criminal justice as a hobby, nor do I run a criminal justice department's online internet presence.
Right.
Grounds? I don't know.
Write anything. You don't have to. It's totally voluntary. This is not something.
My rights are on
I'm
there,
just
right?
giving you the opportunity.
Okay, I'm just trying to be careful because
Okay.
I know.
Don't you guys fucking love opportunities? We hand those out like fucking dum-dums at a dentist's office.
The legal systems and I like to screw around with you.
That is fine. I think that's everything I have for right now. I guess what we'll do is you'll go with another officer for right now.
We gotta do something.
We're probably going to call it here because, spoiler alert, he falls asleep for like 25 minutes. Tom shows back up to make him sign another document, and they eventually fuck off
Forever.
So that's it. That's the big JR interrogation footage. No questions were asked.
Nope.
No questions were answered. No evidence was reviewed. However, at the end, he signed enough documents that he could have pre-qualified for a house. And I guess that's what you want in this scenario, right? Like if you have an ironclad case and the confession isn't necessarily something you need because it's already on a chat log, letting him talk for 2 hours so he'll let you root through his Pontiac Aztec.
Yeah. Yes, his scar needs something.
That's the thing. The thing about Jim is he's the most striking predator of all of them because he's got the personality that's weird in conjunction with the leather jacket, with the scar, with the mustache, with the white hair, with the glasses, with the big belly. I mean, he's everything. He's my favorite predator. And whatever way you can describe a favorite predator, he's my favorite predator. Because even though we didn't get him in front of Chris, we did get 2 hours of uninterrupted Jim, essentially, free association, and the chat log and the confirmation calls.
Right.
I mean, he was a gift horse that kept on giving. But that's it. We've got it in the bag. That was Jim Rauch. Next week, who knows what we've got. I've got a lot of stuff to go over, but we finally did Jim. Thank you so much for showing up. If you did, I appreciate it. And so that being said, probably Wednesday, we'll do more of our regular stuff, maybe more trivia and get your name up there in lights. But yeah, that's it. More true crime on Fridays. We will see you next week with more FFOP radio content. And until then, again, thank you so much for watching. If you guys weren't here, I'd still probably be here, but talking to nobody.
Yeah.
See you later.
Bye.
For this, try to